It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. I missed last week's Saturday night special. Sorry about that. We actually went to a rock show, specifically the Lakeside Gem and Mineral Club show down there in Kennewick, Washington, and that is going to be the coming video this week. And it was a good show. You'll see the video, hopefully. Make sure you watch that. And actually, tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, I have an extra video going up. Stay tuned for that. Well, I've been doing some reading lately. I've gotten a couple of emails from people that I'll probably talk about a little bit. I want to talk about the current state of lapidary. You know, I wish I had gotten into these arbors, these Lortone NS8 arbors sooner, and I wish somebody had, I guess maybe like told me, hey, these are awesome. The current state of the price of getting into lapidary is honestly a little soul-crushing. Can't put it any other way. You know, every single thing in the shop here, except for this, which we'll talk about that, except for that thing, is a used item, a second-hand item, something like, you know, all that. It's like, I don't really have anything new out here, and a big part of that is the price. The price. I mean, I got this for $120, and then I did all the restoration work on it, and I think all of that came to another $50 or so dollars, and it's ready for wheels and a motor, and it'll be serve many more years to come. And you know, like it's hard to piecemeal things together like this, and I'm still in the process. It would have been way easier, right, to get into the whole lapidary thing if I could have just like swiped that credit card and been like $5,000 for a saw, $2,000 for a cab machine, $2,000 for like a low entry-level faceting machine. You get your $800 worth of flat lap stuff, and you know, before you know it, it's really easy to hit that 10, 15K mark doing rock polishing stuff, and you ain't ever gonna make that money back for the most part, right? Like, you know, that's hard. So, you know, I'm doing this whole budget thing, and man, the competition is stiff for some of this used equipment that I see, and those things. Somebody needs to remake these. If there was, I don't like pandering to like, you know, our lapidary companies, but I'll do it for this thing. If a company remade something like this, these simple arbors that you can throw a couple of wheels on, nothing fancy, and sold a bare bones unit like this that wasn't $600 or something ridiculous, I would absolutely make some videos about it and do everything I could to get those arbors into people's shops and kind of promote it as an idea, because the two-wheeled arbors, I love it. I love it. Expandable drums, hard wheels, whatever. It's a little annoying if you have to change wheels out, but if you're doing batches, that can work just fine. You know, like, there's a lot that can be done. I really, you know, the more I learn, man, this is tough. The more I learn, I hate living near a road. The more I learn about rocks, minerals, lapidary, though I feel like I know so little. And in that process of learning, I find myself getting frustrated with people sometimes, especially on Facebook, sometimes down in the comments below my videos here too. One thing that's been something I've noticed over the past, I guess, really year and a half is there will be AI-generated websites, blogs. There's AI-generated just about anything. And they have very like specific ways of wording things, which I can detect, and you can throw them into like an AI content detector. I can speak. And what else? Yeah. Okay, so there's these websites, and people read them and repeat the things that are said on them, and then data gets trained on those things that they're saying, which comes from AI, and it becomes this like snake eating its own tail scenario. I've started to remove those comments from the channel here. So, you know, I'm going to pick on Agates, right? And maybe we'll talk about this stuff back here. I'm going to pick on Agates for a minute. When somebody says in a comment that, like, me calling something an agate is incorrect, and then they, like, go over to Google and they, like, Google, what is an agate? And the first search result is, like, Wikipedia or Geologian or some other, like, junk website that's like, all agates must be transparent or translucent. And you're like, I know that they're cutting and pasting into the comments down below here. Those are all getting axed. The world of agates, and jasper for that matter, is far more complex than you understand. I'm talking to you, the person out there watching this. Maybe you love agates more than anything, and you've read all the things on agates. I have 2 books that I'm going to have to reread, because reading these things once is not enough, and it's definitely making me question many things about what I know about agates, their formation. I'm telling you right now, go find these books. These 2 books right here, okay? Just go buy them. You can thank me later. They're beautiful. If you're curious about the formation of jasper, chalcedony, and opal, these are like a must-have. And some of it's like it's really heavy, but like, you know, beautiful diagrams, right? Like some of the information in here about how they form, how jasper can basically be dissolved and then reformed. Just all of it is just super complex. It's super complex. So from here on out, ultra simplistic comments that are meant to be like, ha, gotcha, are now being deleted from this channel, because I feel like here, the Currently Rockhounding channel and the website needs to be like a little space on the internet, not populated with nonsense. Facebook does enough of that. There's enough nonsense over there that's not worth anybody's time. It can all stay there. Down here, I want it to be a place of like learning and good dialogue and friendly conversation. You know, one thing happened this past week. The channel here rolled over on 5 million views. And I feel proud of the 5 million view thing, specifically because I feel like they're good views, you know? It's not 5 million views on a 10-second short. Like, this is long-form content, you know? Thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of good, family-friendly, educational content pertaining to this stuff. So I feel proud of it, and I want this to continue, and one of the ways I have to do that is no engaging with nincompoops. But yeah, no, get those are awesome. Very awesome. This thing, which, hello, high-tech diamond, all you need flat lap, all right? The upgrades to this, the magnetic lamps, they're definitely a no-go. I'll get this thing off the table, but specifically, I wanted to show you this thing here. I'll get that out of the way. That's like my new machine. Everything else, not new. The fence. Let's talk about the fence for a second. Added that little hole there for, getting the water exactly where I want the water to be. And then I also have this 45 adapter on this. And this is just like my homemade little prototype thing, but you could totally make this yourself. And I'm starting to plan my next Intarsia piece because I want to keep doing these, and I want to keep pushing the limits of what I can like imagine and dream up, because that's just the way I like to do it. And I also picked up a nice little Rikers case so I can have these things displayed, show my progression of how good I can get at this, I guess. And I mean, what are you going to do with them? Like these kind of like practice pieces, right? Like you're not making like cabs out of them. I mean, they're really to like be like a little bit of a display of lapidary skill, I guess. I guess that's how I'd put it. Display of lapidary skill. Stay. There's so much that can be learned, especially when it comes to more complex rocks. Back here, I have some rocks. And I've noticed lately a lot of trends in what has been getting popular, just things that I'm seeing, and there has been quite the interest lately, at least here in the Pacific Northwest, like Washington, Oregon, whatever, of people being into nephrite jade. And I totally get it. People get that like, I don't know, what's the jade version of a gold bug? But jade is also, nephrite jade, is very difficult to identify, and also a lot of people just have this like very wishful eyes for it. Back here is some jade, and back here is some stuff that is not jade, and I think it would be good to show them to you. And you can we'll lay them out here. We're going to go one. We'll do like this. Okay, so we have our 6 rocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, our 5 rocks. We got our 5 rocks here. Can you see these guys? Here, we'll go like that. Trust me, I'm a professional at this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the comments down below, type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to show you these, and you let me know which ones are jade. Jade? Nephrite? Number 2. That was number 1. Number 2. Very green. This is number 3. This is number 4. And this is number 5. Well, there's only one piece of what I would say actual jade, and that is number 3. Number 3 is actual nephrite jade, and I must say it is on the gemmier side. Will we light up here? No, we're not. We'll go like this. We are on the gemmier side. Okay. And jade is a difficult thing to identify. If you really want confirmation that what you found is jade, you're going to need to use like actual analytical tools, XRF, XRD, like Raman spectroscopy. Did I say that right? Doesn't matter. This over here came from where this came from, but nearby. Now, part of the problem that you have with jade and all these things really is the host rock. Let's say, well, I mean, okay, the host rock being serpentine. If you have a area of serpentine and it goes from, let's say, this serpentine to this nephrite jade over the course of, say, 10 feet. 10 feet, it goes from that to that. At what point does it become nephrite jade? Let me know. I mean, if we have that, we don't have that like direct line in the sand with it. It's a slow change over distance. How exactly do you know? And therein lies a lot of the problems with rocks in general. It's complex, and everybody wants to put everything into this nice little box of like, it is, and then blank. And you can do that with minerals. Minerals, it's real easy to be like, you know, calcite crystals, right? Like we can do that with this. Can't do that with this. And there's just some rocks that's really difficult, and nephrite jade is definitely one of those. For a lot of things, this is definitely like the go-to, okay? If you want to pick up, maybe the whole lapidary thing is like too much for you because of all the money it requires. If you want to learn how to become an amateur mineralogist and do a lot of this stuff yourself and figure out these things by yourself, this is the book that you should get. Now, you might think like, well, all this information is available online. No. Okay, we are now deep into the world of fake content, hype content, nonsense clickbait content. You can't trust it. You know, I feel like there should almost be there could be like a whole series, right? Just on how to determine if the sources that you're looking at are credible. Because that is a big part of this whole thing that we've often neglected in conversation. Like, if I said something, if I said all of this was jade, how would you know? You know, I would like to think that, like, well, you'd probably give me the benefit of the doubt because it's like, you know, I've built up like a rapport with you guys here, Saturday Night Special people, over a period of time. And I think credibility is the thing that is lacking in a lot of places like, you know, Facebook, here on YouTube, even some YouTube channels. It is the one, it's the currency we need to be focused on trading in. And, you know, some of the stuff is just complex. I was surprised by these books. These books are incredible. The author has another one. I believe you can buy them direct from him. These took me a long time to get, by the way. Tried buying them. They got lost. It was a whole thing. I think Kingsley had them for a little bit. Gem Shop had them for a little bit. Maybe they still do. Go shop around. I feel like I know nothing about agates and jasper after reading those, and I feel relatively well read on the subject, just kind of generally speaking, but now I'm like, wait a second. Wait, no. This Intarsia work I found to be really enjoyable. The downside to the Intarsia, I've cut so many rocks and I've cut so many slabs not for Intarsia. Let me show you something that I didn't really realize was that big of a problem. Okay, so check this out. So we have this piece of agate, chalcedony, whatever you want to call it, from the Yellowstone River. Kind of nice slab, right? And the problem is this. See that thickness? Right? That thickness is the problem here with pre-cut slabs for this. Or a while back, I cut some of this white marble, right? And whoa, look at that. That is that's not what you want for doing intarsia work. So that's a little bit of a downside. I basically have to recut a ton of slabs. I have to recut a ton of slabs, and really I'm going for like that level of thickness. So I'm kind of starting over all over, you know, I mean, you want to work with things that are really thin like this. Even that's too thick. That's like double, right? So I'm doing a lot of recutting of things, which, you know, it's definitely not fun to split a slab. I mean, you can do it. You can take a thick enough slab and a thin enough blade and cut it in half if you have an auto feed slab saw, which I know a lot of people don't, and like the fixed string to do it. I do have that, but it's just like, sometimes it doesn't go well. It's like hard to get it perfectly aligned. There's a lot to it. But so I'm going through and I'm recutting a lot of stuff like this, which these I'm going to use as borders in a future piece. I got 3 of these little slabs here, and they look pretty good. It might be a little too dark in here to see, but look at that green. Is that showing? There we go. Look at that green. That's like a super dark green jasper. Like you're only going to really be able to see the color in the sunlight. Like a really nice bright light, you'll be able to see that color. Otherwise, it's too dark in here. So, more of that. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for coming by, hanging out with me in the shop. I appreciate you. Check out some books. Learn from these older references. Stop looking at those websites. You know what I'm talking about. And maybe we'll bully. Can we convince a manufacturer to make some arbors for us? All right. I'll catch you in the next video. Stay tuned. I've got some good stuff coming this week.